Have you ever had one of those days where you just sat there and thought, what is the point? Like, why do I go through all of this? Why do I bother to get up every single morning and go to college or work? Why do I bother just to hang out with my friends? What is the point of me actually being here? I think it's something that I've had some days where I've thought about this. And I guess one of the ways in which we end up trying to give ourselves meaning is really through what we do for God. Like, we spend so much time just thinking about the things we're doing and getting our value and our significance from that. But the interesting thing is that maybe that's not something we should be doing. There's a story at the end of the Gospel of John, John chapter 21, where Jesus appears to the disciples for the third time. And I really just want to take a few verses from that and share them with you. Basically, what's happened is that Jesus has come to the disciples. They've been out fishing and they haven't caught anything. And then, without knowing it was Jesus, they've followed his instructions and caught a lot of fish. And so now they're here bringing the fish back to the shore. When Jesus calls them, he asks them, do you have any fish to eat? In John chapter 21 and verse 5. But when they come and get the fish and follow Jesus' instructions, they find themselves bringing these fish back to the shore. And I think it just would have been a strange experience for them. There they were fishing all night. This man comes along and says to them, hey, if you cast your nets on the other side of the boat, then you'll catch some fish. And they did, and they caught the fish. Now, who listens to strange men and does that kind of thing? And when it comes to our following of Jesus, so much of the time we can end up saying, you know what? Jesus is really lucky to have someone like me. Jesus is really lucky to have someone who listens to him like I do. Jesus is really lucky to have someone who's willing to follow him like I am. Jesus is really lucky that I am here with him. But when you find this story, you find that the very thing that Jesus asked the disciples to bring, he has already. I just want to share with you from John chapter 21 and verses 8 and 9. But the other disciples came into the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far off from the land, only about 100 yards. When they had gone ashore, they saw a charcoal fire there with fish on it and bread. Here they are with Jesus after having followed his instructions to get fish. And they get there and find that Jesus already has what they're bringing. He didn't need them to bring fish. In fact, Jesus had more than what they were bringing. And so the disciples must have been thinking, what was the point of that? Why ask for something you've already got? But verse 10 makes it clear that even after having the fish, Jesus says to the disciples, hey, I want you to come and bring some of what you've got. And that tells me one of the most important things that I think I've ever learned. That Jesus doesn't need us. Jesus wants us. Jesus can do all this work by himself. He can save the world by himself, let people know about him by himself, but he wants you to be a part of it. He wants to be able to work through you so that other people can see him and come to know him, and that through working with him, that you can get to know him even better. So the thing is that Jesus doesn't really need you, but Jesus definitely wants you. Wants you to work with him, wants you to be with him, and wants you to let him work through you.